hello there lovely people. I don't know if this is gonna work. This is something very new for me. I recorded this whole video without any sound because Curtis was home, and I always feel really awkward filming when he's at home. I don't know, I talk to myself all the time anyway, so you know, he just laughs, he thinks it's funny. Anyway, so what we're doing is I'm swatching out a set of Arteza, I'm not entirely sure if there's a correct way to pronounce them. I assume it is. There is, but so I have a box set of, oh squeaky chair, 72, and I thought I would swatch them out. You'll see further on in the video, I actually don't like these pencils. I have always used watercolour pencils to draw and colouring with. That's sort of, I don't know why, I've just always used them. Just probably because of that's the sort of pencils I've always had. So when I decided to sort of get into colouring again, I went with the Brute Funas, which are oil based. These Artezas are actually wax based, and I have discovered that I really don't like wax based pencils at all. I guess sometimes it's just the first thing that you use is the thing that you love, so which I mean is also pretty typical of me. But anyway, all I'm doing here is I'm just writing down the numbers of each pencil in the inside lid of the tin. Each pencil had a number, so I put all the pencils didn't come in that order, they would just spread out through the tin, so I have put all the pencils in the order that is in the lid, and now I'm swatching them out. What I'm doing is a very light colour right the way up the rectangle, and then I do a darker pass sort of 3/4 of the way up, and then almost halfway up I will burnish, and burnishing, for those of you that don't know who don't colour, it's basically you colour in hard enough that it takes away all of the tooth of the paper, tooth is like the roughness of the paper. When you colour in with pencils, you generally see colour bits and white bits. The white bits are the low spots of the paper, and where your colour is the high spots of the paper, and that the high spots and the low spots are called tooth. So yeah, this is this doesn't have a lot of tooth, this paper. It is actually printer paper. I find swatching and colouring, honestly, on good quality colouring paper is just fine. This is the J. Burroughs, whatever it's called, premium digital paper. I get this from Officeworks. I get the 100 GSM because I hate 80 GSM paper. It's too thin and it's just gross. I hate it. You can see me just there. The green mat underneath where I'm colouring actually has loads and loads of score marks on it, and I'm noticing that they're coming through on my swatches. It was about here when I realised just how many yellow pencils there are in this set. It's like, why does anyone need this many yellow pencils? I do not know. But yeah, so, and what I'm doing is, when you get a new set of pencils, a lot of times, so I've been told, I don't know if it's true, but it's not what I've been told, it's what I've read and seen in videos, is that when you get new pencils, they sometimes have a excuse me, they sometimes have a coating on them, so you should always sharpen your pencils before you use them to get rid of that coating. So you'll see as I go through this, I am actually sharpening each pencil. I think there'll be one or two that I don't, because I have already tried them. One will be a green, because there's a beautiful grey green in here that I just had to try. Other than that, I have not used these pencils other than to do one blend test, and when I realised how little I could blend these, I was like, meh, over it. You can see I'm constantly wiping the page. These things have so much fallout. I'm going to guess this is pretty common with wax-based pencils. It's not very common with oil-based pencils. Like the ones that I have, the brute furnace that I have the square ones, and they don't, even when you press on them really hard, they just don't have any fallout. Like I can still see on my desk. This is me, not a fan of these pencils. No. So that's as many colours as it took for me to realise I'm not a fan of these pencils. So sorry. Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of novel, watching a video I recorded earlier and commenting on it, because there were things I wanted to say whilst I was recording it, which I won't remember now probably. But because Kurt was here, I sort of didn't want to be chattering away to the computer to thin air like I normally do. I've got to say though that there are some really, really nice colours in this set, and they're colours that I hope I'll get whenever I can actually afford to buy myself a nice set of pencils. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the brute Funas. I'm really, really enjoying them. I actually bought myself 4 polychromos and 4... Here we go. This is me deciding that I can't stand the cut lines in the mat underneath anymore, and that's also my book. I'm writing a book. I've been writing a book for about 4 years now, and I'll probably always be writing a book until I die, because I go back and I change things and I edit things, and it's not a book I ever intend to publish. It's like a romance novel. If you've been around the channel long enough, you've heard me talk about it. If not, welcome. I'm writing a romance novel about 2 Japanese guys at that, who are famous. So I definitely won't ever be publishing it. I don't even know where I was at with my talking. I need to probably follow a script. That will never happen. I really don't know what I was talking about. Ah, dear. But yeah, it was just, I did this, apart from, I spoke to Curtis once because he asked about the water in the jug. That was it. But I did this entire video in silence. Now this is sped up to 3 times, I think. Yeah, 3 times, I'm pretty sure. So this took just short of 2 hours to just do this swatch sheet. Oh, that's what I was saying. I remember now. I bought a set, not a set, I bought 3 polychromos, the Faber-Castell polychromos, and 3 Prismacolors. Because for once in my life, instead of, so I'm pointing out here all the smudges from all the fallout, which it never happens with oil pencils. Like, I've never seen it happen with oil pencils anyway. Yeah, because instead of, normally when I go whole hog into a craft, I'll just buy all the expensive stuff. And this time I didn't. I'm really proud of myself that I didn't just go and buy, you know, the most expensive set of pencils ever. And I just bought 3 of the polychromos and 3 of the Prismacolors to see which ones I'd like. And it turns out, because I'm me and I like expensive things for some weird reason, I like the polychromos better than I like the Prismacolors. I don't like the Prismacolors at all. I will probably never ever buy them. They're just, I don't know, they just didn't feel right. The polys, on the other hand, were so soft and so creamy and so beautiful, and I need them in my life. I'm actually working on a page at the moment just with the brute Funas, and one of the greens that I bought in the polychromos is actually sort of more of a grey green, and the leaves that here's me pointing out the difference in the outside colour of the pencil to the inside colour of the pencil. That happens quite a few times in this. I mean, I'm trying to talk about the video, but you know, mostly it's just me colouring the swatches. So this swatch sheet will be available on Wickedly Inked when it's up and running. When it's up and running, I swear, I've never had... Oh, there was a bit of something underneath the page. I've never had a website kick my ass like this one. It's just, the theme that I'm using, while it's a beautiful theme, it's really not very editable, and I wanted to edit the single product page, and you can't do it with WP Bakery, you have to do it with Elementor, and I've never used Elementor before because I've always used WP Bakery, so I'm now trying to learn a whole new way of editing website pages within a theme, and the theme's overriding some of my changes. It's just, so that's why Wickedly Inked has not happened yet, because the website is kicking my ass. It was beautiful, it was really, really beautiful, and now it's not. Now it's just shit. These actually look more blended in real life than they do on the screen. I'm just noticing. I did try to blend them. You can see what I'm doing here. See how I'm holding the pencil all the way back? The best way to do really light strokes is to hold your pencil away from the tip. And the closer you get to the tip, the harder you can press your pencil down, and the darker you can go. So you'll here's me trying to rub these off. It was a good test of whether or not they're erasable. Not really is the answer to that. Not really. So you can see here again, I'm right the way back on the pencil, and then I come in closer so I can get in darker, and then I get in real close, and this I will burnish. Oh, that's what we're talking about before. Burnishing is when you take all the tooth out of the paper, so you press down as hard as you can, and you dig in that pencil right into the page, and that's where you'll get your most vibrant colours. I'm sorry about the throat clearing, although I'll edit it all out. Now we're starting to get into the colours I really like. I'm not a fan of oranges and yellows as a general rule, or reds for that matter, and even pinks. I mean, you can see my arm sitting there with pink flowers and skulls and shit all over them, but I'm really not a pink kind of person. Like, I don't hate pink, it's not really for me. Again, look at the difference. It's if you were to judge these colours off the outsides of the pencils, you would be making colour mistakes everywhere, I tell you. But yeah, I like purples and blues and apparently greens. Definitely apparently greens. I do use green a lot in soap making. I actually had two green candles as well. I don't know why I was looking at that. Who knows? That little pencil sharpener, where is it? It is it's Faber-Castell, of course it is. Apparently Faber-Castell is my favourite. You know what? It is my favourite brand because I use the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürers. I can't say it properly. Albrecht Dürer. It's German. Watercolour pencils, and I love them. The other ones that I've tried aquarels and stuff, and I still find the Albert. I'm just gonna say Faber-Castell because that'll do. I'm probably saying that wrong too. That's a beautiful colour, that blue there. But yeah, I obviously lean heavily towards Faber-Castell because, again, the polychromos are friggin' amazing. They're so buttery and soft and beautiful to work with, whereas these things are not. I do not like them at all. But yeah, this little Faber-Castell pencil sharpener, I just bought it off Officeworks. It was only a couple of bucks. I can actually have a look while we are watching me do stupid shit. I don't know you guys said you didn't mind watching me colour. Pencil sharpen, no, sharpener, that's what we want. I hope this is what you had in mind, because can you go? Officeworks just being stupid. Officeworks, hello? Officeworks. Officeworks. No, Officeworks has died. Oh, the like and subscribe. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. That's okay. Hopefully I'll have fixed that. Otherwise, I don't know. It shouldn't be like that. For some reason, it's lost all its editing. I don't know why it's lost its editing. It's a bit weird. Let's go for pencil sharpener in Officeworks again. Pencil sharpener. There you go, Officeworks, you stupid head. I mean, look at these blues. There's some really nice blues here. They're quite different. I mean, the two in the middle, maybe not so much. I just don't understand why anyone would need that many yellows, honestly. I'm looking for this little Faber-Castell pencil sharpener. Faber-Castell one-hole pencil sharpener. It was $1.98 from Officeworks, honestly. And honestly, it's the best pencil sharpener. It's so good. I'm gonna probably chuck another 2 in my cart when I buy my next lot of things from Officeworks, because it'll save having to change the blade in it. I'll just chuck it away for $2. I'll just chuck it away and buy another one. Yeah, okay. I'm not very ecologically sound. I do recycle, but I hate messing with razor blades of any kind. They terrify me to death, honestly. Look at that colour. That's a really nice colour. I don't have the names of the colours on the sheet. I've only just put the numbers. Because names don't really mean anything. I'm not sure why I was looking at that. Oh, that's right. It was quite scratchy, this pencil. Like, there was almost scratch lines. And I couldn't get it to, again, different colour to a love heart, because I love that colour so much. But yes, it laid down really scratchy, and I couldn't get rid of the scratches. Here's me getting sick to death of the pages moving, so she's going to use 2 of the 4,000 friggin' paper clips that I own. And maybe not 4,000, that might be a slight exaggeration, but I do own quite a few of them. So, and I just found a bunch of them downstairs as well that I was using for sprinkle sheets that I don't use anymore, because I have a different setup now, which is way better and way easier. So Curtis was cranky at me today. He wanted to lend money and I said no, so he got the shits with me. Oh, I don't really care. Listen, I offered the child a job. He's not a child, he's 26, by the way, for those of you new. This is my son. He's 26. He's currently staying with me. You know, do I sound enthusiastic? Well, if I sound enthusiastic, then it's a lie. What am I doing? Why did I stop? Why did I stop? I may have been talking to Curtis at this point. I didn't actually edit anything out. Yeah, it felt loose. And I was really surprised at this point that I had sharpened that many pencils and I hadn't got one single one break. I thought that was really impressive. Yeah, I know, right? Look at it was like, wow, look at this colour. Look at the colour of the pencil, at the barrel, and then look at the colour of the pencil. It's mental. Like, I could not make that not be neon. It was just incredible. I mean, neon green's not for me. I don't like neon greens. I like the 2 to the left of it because they're quite minty. But that neon green, I will probably never use that. Well, I probably will never use these pencils, if I'm completely honest, because I don't like them. Which is terrible, because I bought them and I should use them, but... Oh, sorry for the headshots. I didn't realise I did that. I have not watched this video through. All I did was just add some music and made it go faster. I thought a bit of music in the background might be nice. Whether or not I actually do that is a different matter. I will have to edit it all together and see. There you go. So there's my first breakage. And I did notice that it took a fair amount of sharpening to get them to be nice and sharp again. Poltergeists. It wasn't me breathing on the page, it was poltergeists, I'm telling you. For those of you who don't know, I'm joking, because I don't actually believe in anything supernatural. I don't believe the supernatural exists. I don't believe souls exist. I don't believe in any sort of religion. So yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't believe in anything. I'm a miserable old goat. Kind of miserable, not because I don't believe in anything, probably just because I'm just a miserable old lady. That's probably it. Now that I'm looking at that green, I kind of like that green. Again, it's just me checking things. Oh yeah, go away, go away, go away. I was waiting for a food delivery. Well, no, I was waiting for them to tell me when my food was being delivered. Not food, as in, not takeaway, as in groceries. I don't buy takeaway food because I think it's a thing more. I don't know where, but in smaller towns like this, you don't tend to get takeaway food delivered to you. In small towns like this, you go out and you get your takeaway food. Maybe in the cities, but not so much in little places like this. Like the pizza shop. There is no pizza shop out here. It's over in Yamba, so you can't get pizza delivered, which is a pity because I quite like pizza. I don't know where I've gone. Where did I go? Where have I gone? Oh my god! Time for a quick sip of tea, as the Biffa would say. For me, it's a quick sip of Pepsi Max. I don't know where I went. There, that's where I went. Went and got a Pepsi Max. Is what I did. Oh dear. Now look at this colour. Look at this colour. This is beautiful. See? That's what I'm saying. Apparently I like green more than I think I do. Because I always say I don't like green, but then I do greens and I really, really like it. I just like, this is such a beautiful grey green. And they're the sorts of greens I like. I don't like that real sort of yellow green. I always tell people I like the colour of eucalyptus leaves. Actually it's probably this colour that I'm doing now would be almost a perfect colour for eucalyptus leaves. It's very pretty. I quite like it. I like the difference from the top to where it's burnished down the bottom as well. There's quite a bit of difference in that one. I like that. I did pick the paper up and I was looking at it because it was like it wasn't covering. There's a few of them that didn't seem to burnish really, really well. And that was another thing that I found is I didn't like the way it laid down when you use oil pencils. And because they're so sort of buttery is the best term, I guess, they lay down really well and you can blend them so nicely. These are supposed to be, it says blendable. I think that's what word they use. I don't know, let me have a look. I'll bring the tin over so I can see. It does say blendable, so it's obviously a word. It says blendable on the box, but tin. It's not a box, it's tin. But yeah, at the end of the video I actually do give them a blend and I didn't think that they were particularly blendable. Not compared to oil-based pencils anyway. But it could just be because I don't like wax-based pencils and I don't know how to use them. I mean, that's entirely possible. You know, I mean, I'm no expert when it comes to colouring, so, you know, I only know the limited things. I mean, I like that colour too. See, that's kind of yellow, but it's also kind of, no, I actually really like that colour. It's kind of interesting watching this back now and going, oh, okay. But yeah, no, I quite like that colour because it's more of an ochre kind of green. And yeah, again, another one that didn't match. The barrel was completely different. But yeah, when it's like, yeah, I was like, see how much similar it's like. I don't feel like there was any necessity for this pencil. This one just, I don't know. And the order of pencils as well, I thought was maybe, I don't know, maybe not as odd as it. I didn't like that pencil at all. What am I doing here? What am I doing? I don't know what that was all about. Who knows? I did it and I don't even know. Now we're getting into browns, which, meh. I don't colour, I mean, I don't do a lot of things that are brown, I guess, so browns and yellows are not my thing, I guess. I don't know. I haven't done any colouring for years. Mostly what I've done in the in the closest past is doing Monster High dolls, and that was all with watercolour pencils, and that's more like makeup colours and, you know, alien colours and stuff. There certainly wasn't a whole lot of yellows and browns going on, that's for sure. Although I do a brown up here very shortly that I fall in love with. It'll get a love heart. I remember that. So it's like this brown. It's actually called dark chocolate brown. See, I do remember names. I do remember names when they're a beautiful colour. It's kind of funny how some of these are like really messy and some of these are really neat, and then down here I'm sort of being more conscious of my straight edges. I'm so inconsistent. I was talking to Keely the other day. I was talking about my inconsistency. She said, "No, you're more consistent." I'm like, "I'm really not." It may seem that way, but this is proof positive that I'm so inconsistent. Like, where was I? Why wasn't I doing that all along? I don't know. Who knows? No. Consistent I'm not, and I don't care. It's just who I am. I can't be anyone other than who I am. That's just... And I think everybody should just be who they are. I mean, you can always strive to be a better person, but I don't like people who strive to be someone that they're not. You know, like, just the whole fake thing is just annoying. Hey Socks, how's it going? Socks has come to visit. There you go, that was dark chocolate brown. Should have known. But yeah, so I can't believe I managed to talk through this whole thing. Well, I mean, really, we've watched my soap videos. I talked through the entirety of those, and they go for 30 minutes. But for those of you that don't colour, the reason to do swatches, especially when you do them like this, when you swatch out a whole entire set of pencils, is so that when you go to colour something, be it your own artwork or colouring books or whatever, is you can then have a look at your swatch sheet and you can pick from the actual colours that they are, not the barrels, or sometimes even the leads don't look the same as when they're put down on paper. So you've got a truer representation of what your pencils actually look like when they're coloured. Because, you know, I mean, you might pick two greens to go with one, you know, one lighter and one darker to do, you know, and then put them together and realise that they just look absolutely shitful together. And, you know, it's a pain in the ass because, you know, these things they're wax based, or the other ones that I use are oil based, and they're pretty hard to erase off a page. Like, you can sort of, but mostly you can't. Erasing really, when you do wax and oil based pencils, it's not so much. I think that's probably another reason why I like watercolour pencils, because you can erase them. Oh dear. It's like gouache paint on Monster High dolls, because it's water activated. If you paint something on a doll's face and then you decide, you know, 2 days later that you don't like it, if you haven't put anything on top of it, you can just wet it and it comes off. So that's always gouache. I don't know, that's another one of those words. I think it's French, isn't it? Gouache. Oh, there we go, another lead. It was loose. So, but yes, I did notice that's me putting emptying the sharpener. There's a bin underneath the desk there. I did notice how much it took to get these back to sharp points again. So I'm pretty sure that one is called, no, the brownish one next to it was Elephant Grey, and that one was, I don't remember what it was called actually, but I liked it because I put a love heart next to it. I didn't put a ring on it, I put a love heart on it. Oh god, shoot me now. This is so weird watching myself do something and comment on it. I feel very Deadpool at the moment. It's like breaking the fourth wall. I was watching Ryan Reynolds before. Oh, what did I watch? Oh, the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie. That was it called? The Guilty. That's pretty good. I also watched Snake Eyes last night. Again, pretty good, especially if you like martial arts. That was pretty good. I'm not a G.I. Joe fan by any stretch. I had G.I. Joes when I was a kid. But yeah, that was a good movie. I enjoyed it. And the dude that plays Storm Shadow is actually a martial artist, so that was good. That lent a bit of credence to the movie. What else? I've started watching Squid Game, but so far it doesn't look anything better than normal Korean. See, this is the thing, I'm hoping because it's so huge, it's going to encourage more people to watch more Korean programming. I guess I like that colour too. Because it's no better than other, it's just, again, these colours were quite similar to me as I was doing them. I don't know how it's going to look doing it here. I think this one's a bit darker, but other than that, they're pretty similar. But yeah, I mean, I think people just don't realise how good Korean television is, honestly. I've been saying this for years. Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. It's really, really good. Again, they're greys. Seriously, see, it's a smile because I love greys. Greys are my favourite. I love grey. It's such a good colour. It goes with everything. Everything. Literally everything. Nothing doesn't go with grey. Even brown goes with grey if you do it right. Grey's the best. So this is black, obviously. You start with white and with black. It was just a black. I did notice it took a fair bit to get it to burnish really well. Wasn't impressed with it, and there was so much fallout. It was ridiculous. So now what I'm going to do, this is me trying to decide what colour I'm going to do that's me telling you that I liked from blue to green, the minty greens and then the greys. And now I'm deciding what colours I'm going to use to do or to attempt a gradient. And then me realising you need to start, the best way to do a gradient is to start from your light colours. When you use oil-based pencils, I don't know how to use wax-based pencils. Maybe it's different. Maybe that's why I didn't get a very good gradient. And I try to use 2 pencils, which is probably really stupid. But with oil-based pencils, you can use 2. So here's me trying to figure out what was in the middle. So maybe a 3rd pencil will help. So you can see I'm layering, which is what I would normally do with oil-based pencils. Because assuming that it would work with these, but I mean, it kind of worked, but I mean, in person. So now I'm kind of burnishing nearly all the way with that one, and now I'm going over this with the yellow and I'm burnishing all the way into the tooth with that, and I'm not happy. That's why I have a sad face. Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it looks right here on the screen. I don't know what it will look like when it's, you know, in full height, but yeah. And now I'm going to go over it with a white. Sometimes if you use a white, it can help to blend your colours together. Oh, and that's probably going to pick up on the mic, and that's going to be weird. So I'll say goodbye and welcome to my new Patreons. Bye.